I was gonna say, do you remember there was like a history class in the music theater major where there was like a day dedicated to
to be gay.
Like a case for the celibate homosexual lifestyle.
Oh my god!
They spent like an
I forgot about
class
that.
on it.
Yeah,
like,
we actually had a class.
Yeah, and they spoke to, we're not pointing fingers. We're just saying if you happen to think that you're gay, don't ever have sex.
So it's like okay, but just don't act on it.
No, it's not okay, but they're saying you can still go to heaven if you don't act on it.
Yeah, as long as
we all have crosses to bear. I remember, we all have challenges. This is yours.
It's like in the dance department, they have one on anorexia every year.
Really?
And in the theater department, they have one on being gay.
Wow.
Oh my god. That's amazing. So if you're gay and you come out, can you not go back to church?
No, you can go back to church. You can
walk in
to
the
church. But it's like our friend Clark, who also did some of these videos. You can be out even, and depending on the church, depending on the ward you go to, you can have a boyfriend. Depending on the bishop you have, you can kiss. But it all depends on.
But you can't participate in the the holy ceremonies and whatnot.
Yeah, if you choose to have a boyfriend, you can't do anything. Like you can, because there's all these like responsibilities and privileges that come along with being a part of the church, and you just don't. It's basically like trying out for the football team and them saying, well, I understand that you're trying real hard, and you're definitely not going to get to play in any of the games, but you can show up to practice, but you can't actually play in practice.
You're like on probation for life.
So you sit on the bench during practice. Like that's what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And then they encourage that. Just keep sitting there. You're doing great. Doing great.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a permanent bench warmer.
And people do that? People are okay with that?
Yeah.
People are crazy.
This is what the church says. The church says, this is your calling, like this is your trial in life. We understand that you're gay, we understand you can't ever fix it, you can't change it. So your trial in this life is to sit there and exist, basically. Be a good person.
Like that's what God would do to someone. Weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
I worried for my friend Laren. I remember right before his mission, he must have been going through what a gay man does before he goes on a mission for the church, and he would have these just intense. As a matter of fact, he did try to kill himself once. He tried to overdose on pills, and he showed up at my house just like white as a ghost and shaking, and we got him some like Epicac to make him throw up, and he actually I've never told this story before, and I'm sure he'd be comfortable with it. And he was just shivering, and he was, obviously at the biggest point of despair in his life, and he obviously needed, to feel connected, and I had him sleep in my bed that night, and it wasn't a homosexual experience for me in any way. It was just a beautiful experience, but I kind of like body heat, and I held him that night, and anyway, he and I have talked about it since, and I think that for him that was sort of a turning point in that he, felt like, well, at least Will's still going to be there for me. Anyway.
How's he now? How's he now?
He's so good now. He's so good.
And I think that's the point of the reason why I started doing this. I don't know what this will turn into or if I'll change the main reasons, but just to get people past that one. If you can get past the hardest, that one point where he obviously, he didn't want to die.
No, but he was.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have shown up. He just didn't know what other options there were or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you can get past that one point, and it's funny that you would do the one thing that, if you were Christian, you would do, which is just unconditional love. Be like, I don't care. Yeah.
My grandma used to say that every Mormon should be required to live outside of Utah for a year because of the way that it opens their eyes. And she was a pretty strict Mormon, but boy, that little bit of wisdom just resonated with me right off the bat. I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's so much different seeing how the world actually is as compared. Hang in there, whoever's watching, because you can be yourself and people will love you.
People will love you.
I'll love you.
Even straight people.
Even straight. First voice lesson, he was like, we need to get a look at your musculature. Why don't you take your shirt off? My first voice lesson, BYU. I'm like, okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, expand. Okay, we get your ribs to expand. You know.
Or like the hand down the
They'd
pants.
be like, okay, feel this.
Yeah, they
Feel
do.
this.
Are you kidding?
Now-
I'm not even kidding.
Press out. All that stuff.
I left and I was
Or
like,
like-
I think I just.
Or the hands on the butt.
I know.
The hands on the butt.
Uh-uh.
That one. Yeah.
What
They
can
don't
you
want to make
possibly
sure you're
get?
not clenching or whatever. I'm like, are you serious?